Hey everybody! So today we are going to discuss about Rabin-Karp algorithm, and in the end we are going to discuss about a leet code problem which will include this algorithm. So what is this algorithm? So this algorithm is used to find a pattern in a text or string very efficiently, that is in open time. So let's see how can we do this. So the basic idea behind this is hashing. So what we do is we hash our pattern, then we form part of our text that are equal to the size of pattern. Then we hash those texts also. Then we match the hash of the pattern and the text, and if they are equal, we can either return it as it is, or we can also check it word by word. So, for example, we have this small pattern and this is our text. So, how can we find this pattern? Using this algorithm. So, what we have done is we are firstly hashing our pattern and that give us 613. We will see how we are going to hash it. Then we have taken a part of the text that is the size of the pattern and then hashed it, and we got the value 508. Then moving forward, we have hashed the next part of the string and we got the value 201. And moving forward and on and on. And finally, we got the same hash value. So we got the match. So, so how do we hash a value? So if we have to hash this function, what we usually do is we take its value, we multiply the value by any base value and its power increasingly, and then do its modulo. For example, in this, D is our base and Q is used to avoid overflow because we are taking modulo Q. So that means our value will never go up to Q. So for each integer, we are multiplying it and then taking its modulo. And hence, we got our hash value that was 613. So we can write this hash function very easily using a loop. We can also see its implementation here. So Q is just any random prime number and R is any base we have taken, and that's how we can implement our hash function. Then now, how will we match the values in our string? For the first value, we had the numbers 41592. For the second value, we have the number 15926. So if we calculate hash of both the strings, then we know that 1, 5, 9 and 2. These four elements are common. So it will be inefficient if we calculate them twice. So what we can do is, we will firstly decrease the value that is increased by the number that was different in our previous value, that was 4. So we decreased it 4. Then we increased our hash value with the number so that our new number can arrive there. Then we added the new value that we have to add, that was 6, and hence we got our new value. So this is the efficient way because we haven't calculated the numbers, the four common numbers that were coming twice. So that's why it is also called rolling function, because we are kind of rolling it forward. So for the first R entries or the length of the pattern, we will simply count its hash function. It is also called Horner's rule. And for the remaining entries, we will just roll it one by one, like we did it here. So now we know that Rabin-Karp's algorithm is nothing but we have to just take a pattern, we have to hash it, then we have to take our text, we have to cut it, we have to take the first pattern length and hash it, and then match it with our pattern hash, and then we will roll our hash forward one by one, matching it each time so that we can know if we got the same pattern. So here is its implementation. So firstly, we are taking the string and we are counting its size. Then we are taking any random odd number. Then we are calculating the first text hash. And if it is equal with the pattern, we are returning 0. Then we have iterated a loop which will roll it forward, and whenever it is equal, it will return the value of the index. So that's how we can implement our algorithm. So now talking about the question we are going to discuss is longest duplicate substring. We have given a string and we have to tell if it has a substring that is occurring two or more times. So this question have two folds. The first fold is how will we find what is the maximum length of the repeating string, and the second thing is how will we compare the two strings that are of same size. So the second thing, that how will we compare the two strings of the same size, got covered with our Robin's algorithm. But how can we calculate which is the longest string? So for that we know that if if we have if we have a substring of size 5 that is occurring twice, then obviously we will have the substring of size 4 that is occurring twice, because it will be the part of the substring that is of the size 5. But if we know that there is no substring of size 5 that is occurring twice, then we know that there will be no substring of size greater than 5 like 6 or 7 that is occurring twice, because obviously if there are any, then they have to contain a substring of the size 5. So by this observation we can reduce our work with the help of binary search. So we can search for the length of the string. So using both the two things, here's what I have implemented. So firstly, I am using the binary search. The low value is 0, the high value is n minus 1, and I have initialized mid. Then taking the starting index minus 1, I have iterated the loop, that is low is less than or equal to high, then taken the mid. Then I am running the function check on the mid and my string s. The check function is our algorithm which is checking any possible matches. Then we are checking if index is equal to minus 1 or not. If it is not minus 1, that there is no match. So we will move smaller than mid. But if it is there, then we will move to the upper range. And finally, if the k is 0, we are returning the empty string. And if k is not 0, then we are returning our substring. And where does our substring come from? It comes from the algorithm part, which is here. So here what we are doing is, firstly we are taking random base function and a random odd integer b. Then we are taking the map by the name of scene, in which what we will do is we will take its hash code as key and its value as starting index. So this will be helpful, as if we got the two same hash codes, we will get the same key, so we can directly give its index by the help of values. So we are generating the hash code, then pushing it to the hash value in our scene map. Then if it is not equal, then we are rolling it then we are rolling forward, and then we are again cross checking. If the substring is equal, then return the index, else so we will return -1. So that's the reason we were checking here, that if index is -1 or not. So it was a little tough, but it will teach you a lot of stuff. So I hope this is clear. So thanks for watching.